So I've taken a call on this old girl, the Ugly Duckling. Bought her about 6 months ago. It's actually a project gun from somebody. The action itself is a Remington rolling block action that was built in Spain at the Oviedo Armoury, which leads me to believe that it was probably originally barreled in 43 Spanish. It's a bit of a Frankenstein. You can see there's no butt plate. And as we go up here, we look at it, we can see, bring her back to full cock, and bring her back. You can look at the barrel here. So I'm assuming that when they rebarreled it, they either lost, broke, or just chose not to use the extractor that would have been part of this gun when it was 43 Spanish. It's since been rebarreled in 4570. There's no extractor. You can see there's a little channel milled out right top, and basically the cartridge fits in there, and once you fire it, you reach in with your fingernail and you pull it out. See if I've got a cartridge here. So this is an empty cartridge. I had an empty cartridge, but it doesn't fit anyway. So the plan was, and of course it's got this Frankenstein forearm on it. I don't know where this came from. It looks like it's from some sort of a heavy target rifle. So long story short, bought the gun. The intention was that take it out to my gunsmith, have him install an extractor. I bought one, and I had spoken to Remington rollingblockparts.com, and he'd indicated that as it wasn't sort of intact, couldn't really hurt the value of the gun, and that you could sort of install an extractor sort of up here. Anyway, took it out to my gunsmith. Wasn't really comfortable with the concept. Eventually begged off. But he did say, hey, the gun is safe to fire as it's configured. So I threw a couple of ugly sights on it. This is a Smith Enterprise ladder sight. You can see I ended up having to put a shim underneath because the dovetail slots on this thing have been cut quite big. And then on the front, I just put in a Remington 1895 blade sight that sits up quite high. Took it out this morning to see if it would actually shoot. That is to say, if it could, be made to hit anything. Actually, it turned out pretty good. Played around with it for a bit, and then the end result was this. So this is 5 rounds at 50 yards. So the smaller circle, which is, I'll say an inch, 1 inch group, is 4 rounds, and then we have a bit of a flyer at the bottom right. The point of aim was right dead center here, so obviously, I could fool around and with it. So I have decided to keep the old gun. And what I'm going to do is try and manufacture a more correct forearm for it. And I'm going to take it back out to my gunsmith and have him drill and tap a couple of holes on the wrist here for a vernier sight that I have. And I'm going to install a Lyman globe sight on the front, and then sort of take it from there. But that's my Ugly Duckling.